Hey guys, welcome back to Waters Family Homestead. Well, this video is a little bit different, but I think I've done one of these a year or two or more ago. But you know, I follow some channels as well, and I was thinking the last few days of doing an updated of this because some people just don't put enough thought into what it's going to take after crap hits the fan. And I started making a list, and then I was watching one of the videos of a channel that I follow, and doggone if he wasn't talking about pretty close to the same thing. Not exactly, but close. Hold on a second, I'm going to turn this fan on. Alright, so of course that's not going to stop me from doing my video, but so I took a picture of my notepad, and I'm going to place it in the middle of this video or at the end of the video for, you know, long enough period that you can pause the video and take a look at the list if that's what you want to do. Last time I did one similar to this, people asked me for a copy of it. And I think it was one on, you know, people tell us preppers a lot they're coming to my house, to your house when crap hits the fan, but yet they don't want to prep. They just want to come to your house. You're going to, you know, they're not saying that to you. They're, oh yeah, I'm coming to your house. They're not saying, oh, I expect you to feed me and to house me and to clothe me and take care of my medical needs. They don't say that to you. Not in those words. But when someone says, I'm coming to your house when crap hits the fan, that's what they mean, whether they realize it or not. And my response, typically in a joking, non-joking way, is that's why I have bullets. So I have a pretty large group. If everyone that has over the years agreed to come and be part of my MAG, my mutual assistance group, or my crap hit the fan group, part of my homestead, I have a pretty large group. For me, I think it's a large group. It's a lot of people. The problem with people coming to your house or my house or whatever when crap hits the fan is, the first problem is, what are they bringing to help you? Are they bringing anything? If they're just bringing themselves and their 5 kids and their spouse that, you know, hasn't worked 3 months in the last 5 years, what are they helping you with? One thing for sure, they're going to eat food, right? So you got to feed an extra 5 kids and 2 adults. That's 7 mouths that you've got to put calories into every day. You know, 1,800 to 2,500 calories a day. So if you've got enough food stored for 2 people for a year, okay, let's do this really simple. If you've got enough food stored to feed you and your spouse for an entire year, 2,000, 3,000 calories a day, whatever it is you do yours. I figure mine about 2,000. But if you've got enough food to feed 2 people for 12 months, 52 weeks, 365 days, and you let one person come in that's going to be eating off of those food stores, now you don't have 12 months. So you'll be lucky to have 9 months. What if you let, say, and I'm not trying to say you're not letting them in. I'm just trying to get you to realize. So what if you let your daughter and your son-in-law come in? No kids, just them, right? So now instead of feeding 2 people for a year, you got to feed 4 people. So all of a sudden you've only got 6 months worth of food. If they've got 2 kids, now you're down less than 3 months. It adds up. But what I'm alluding to is there's got to be things done after crap hits the fan. Now, I don't prep for this power to be off for a week. You know, we had a hurricane here, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, that I literally did, excuse me, my eyes are itching. I actually, and my daughter lived a mile from me, my sister lives across the road. I did not have, none of us had electricity for 5.5 days. My sister has a deep freezer and a refrigerator. And they have a well. They had no water stored. They had no way to run the refrigerator or freezer. So they came over here. I had a generator. That's all I had that I could run everything with. They come over and took showers here. Came over here and got water. Things like that. My own daughter and son-in-law, with the grandkids they had at the time, their kids at the time, he had 1 or 2 freezers and a refrigerator. No way to run them. And they came over here and stayed with me a lot of that time and took showers and ate and all that, which is great. I prepped for my kids and my grandkids. But what got me was I was so focused on, I had my own business at the time. I was so focused on trying to get that business back up open because the power was out there too. And keep my property powered off my generator. I didn't even think about my sister needing electricity. I didn't think about my daughter and her husband them needing some electricity. Not that we wanted to run the lights. We needed to keep their freezers and their refrigerator cold. You can do that by running a generator 2 hours a day. Let your freezer catch up and keep things frozen, and let your refrigerator catch up and keep things cool. Now, it'd be better if you did an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening. But either way, you need about 2 hours a day to keep that stuff running. My sister as well. Neither one of them asked me, hey, can we bring your generator over here and let me, get my stuff frozen before I lose everything in there? Neither one of them asked me, and I didn't even think about it. Both lost everything in their fridge and freezers. I hate that. Hindsight's 20/20. But either way, guys, I'm already 8 minutes into this video. I apologize. There's some numbers on the right of my screen. I'm not sure what that is, but either way, there are jobs that have to be done. Say if we are hit with nukes, the grid goes down, whatever, we're talking long term. Not 1 to 3 months, 6 months. I'm talking long term. 3 to 10 years. Think down the road. You got to have jobs filled. So I don't know what size your MAG is, what size your group is. Mutual Assistance Group, MAG. But you've got to have leadership and you've got to have workers for everything. So I'm going to go down the list the way I've got it written out, and I'm sure there's probably something I've missed. But most of what I've missed will fall into one of these categories. So we're going to, first of all, you have to have people that are willing to serve in the head position, in the leadership position for every field that you need filled. So I've had people over the years say, well, you're the boss, I'm the boss. This is your place, da 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 da. And I'm not. I'm not the number one boss on my mag. Yes, I own the house and the property, as long as the government don't take it from me. You know, I got to pay taxes, so who really owns it? But anyway. So you need leadership. And the way mine's set up is 7 people. 7 are the leaders. It needs to be an odd number, guys. It can't be 4 or 2 or 6. It needs to be an odd number. Otherwise, if you've got something that comes up that leadership needs to agree on and you get a tie vote, who's breaking the tie? You need an odd number of leaders. My group is large, so if everybody shows up, we have 7 what we call elders. Now, this is my property, my house. I am one of the 7. I'm probably one of the 7 oldest anyway, but that's what we go with, is basically the 7 oldest that will serve. They don't have to. This is voluntary. But you've got 7 leadership people. Those are the people that set the rules and how we operate as a group. The only time, and this is my big burden, is the only time I overrule anything or anyone is if it comes to my personal property, or it endangers someone's life. Then I have the right to step in and say, nope, that ain't happening. Other than that, I'm an equal vote of the 7 leadership. So, next thing I've got on my list is security. You need a head of security and you need an assistant to that head of security. And then you need security helpers. You've got people that's got to pull guard duty. You got people that need to be on the security cameras. Things have to be done, and it ain't just while you're up, guys. It's 24 hours in a day. Nobody is going to work 24 hours a day and not sleep. You can't expect that out of yourself. You can't expect that out of your people. The way I've got it broke down is 3 8-hour shifts. I need a minimum of 3 people on security at all times. One of those is on the camera system because my camera system has night vision. 2 of those are out on patrol around the property, making sure we don't have any threats coming our way. And if we do, we can do what we need to protect ourselves. So, now I've got 20 people down on my list for security because nobody works 7 days a week indefinitely. If you work your people or yourself too long without a break, people will make mistakes. They will fall asleep while they're on duty. They will goof off. Things happen to where your security drops, and that's something you can't afford to happen. So my setup is 9 people on duty per day. It's 3 per shift. 4 days a week. I don't care what 4 days it is. And then another 9 people on duty the other 3 days. So that's in total of 18 people you need on security every week. And that's giving people 3 and 4 day work weeks, 8 hours a day. They've still got to do their personal issues, their laundry and all of that stuff. Plus you got people that may be sick that can't fill in. I've got 20 people down for mine. So if something big happened and hey, we got a group of 50 marauders heading our direction and they've been looting and burning and you know, doing bad crap all the way headed straight at my place, all 20 and probably anybody else that can handle a firearm are going to be handed a firearm to defend this place. It's just part of life. So you can't do it by yourself. You've got to sleep. All right. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit longer video, but hopefully it's something that interests you. All right, the next duty or job that I've got down is medical. So you need a head person in charge of medical. Now, every group doesn't have a doctor. Every group doesn't have a nurse. But you got some, you're going to have to choose the best person for the job and see if they'll take the job. That's all there is to it. So every head position we've got here has an assistant. And depending on the job, they have helpers to help those too. So medical has a head, an assistant, and then a helper. And of course, they could be more than that if you've got enough people, but that's what I've got down. The next thing is power production. Because I do plan on having full power at my homestead when crap hits the fan. And if that's going to happen, someone needs to maintain and take care of the power production system. That includes generators, that includes the solar, the battery bank, the inverter, everything. If you're going to have power, you're going to have to take care of it. It doesn't just do its thing and work perfect from day one forever. So I am the head of power production here because no one knows my system better than me. I'll have an assistant and I'll have a helper for maintenance, like washing solar panels, checking the condition of the batteries, all of that stuff. Next thing I've got is inventory. Now, inventory is not just food. Inventory is a huge job. You need a very capable person for this. You may end up, now I've got it down as a head and assistant. You may end up with a head person that, handles it all, and with 5 assistants, depending on how much you've got to do. But inventory means ammunition. You're going to need it. That means food. You got to feed people. That means clothes. You've got to clothe people. That means all the consumables that you're going to use. If you're using paper plates, all right, how much longer can we go with the paper plates we've got? Do we need to start looking for some when we're out and about? What inventory? They've got to monitor what you've got and report to the leadership how long we can go with what we've got, so we know what we need to do. All right, the next thing I've got is food production. You've got a head person over food production, and this is another huge job. People have to eat. You have to have a resupply plan. So the head food production person has 2 assistants, and the reason I did that is I've got an assistant over meat production, which is livestock, cows, pigs, goats, turkeys, chickens, whatever, squirrel, rabbit, fishing, hunting, deer, whatever. Someone over the protein production. And then they've got an assistant over the plant-based food, which would be your gardening and your fruit trees and all of that stuff. Everybody doesn't have a green thumb. I do not. I can grow some stuff, but I still don't have a green thumb. One of my best friends, he's got 2 green thumbs. But he puts a lot of time into it. It's what he enjoys doing. So again, you're going to need a head person that's going to make sure we're all doing what we need to do to keep food available for your group. So I've got down a head, 2 assistants, and then, so that's 3 people. And I got 6 more people down as helpers, because those 3 people aren't going to be out there feeding and watering the animals every day, watering the garden, pulling weeds, harvesting food, and all of that by themselves. You're going to need a lot more. The bigger your group, the more you need. So the next thing I've got down is food preservation. So I've got a head person over food preservation. That means smoking meat to make it last longer, salt curing meat to make it last longer, cooking it so it can be stored longer. There's an assistant and there's 4 helpers on that position. So it's not just, hey, I'm going to go plant a tomato plant and call it done. You've got to take care of that. You've got to fertilize most of the time your gardens, which goes back into the animal side of it. When they're cleaning the pens and all and gathering all their waste, that waste goes into the compost pile that helps build good soil to put in the garden to grow more food. All these jobs kind of tie in together. So then, what are you going to do with your children? Just say it's been going on for 3 or 4 years. Now, when you got a 3-year-old in Crap Hit the Fan, you really ain't got to worry about teaching them anything other than normal life. But when they start getting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old and they don't know how to read and write, it's not a good situation. You're going to have education. You're going to need teachers. You're going to need daycare. So I've got a head person over to education. I've got an assistant, and I got a helper, and of course more if they're available. Next thing I've got down is communications. You know, we've got CB radios, ham radios, handheld radios. You're going to have some kind of communication. You need to work it out now versus when crap hits the fan. Again, a head and an assistant plus whatever else they need. All right, and then maintenance. So a lot of people are bad at this, but maintenance. My tractor's not going to run forever if you don't take care of it. My backhoe's not going to run forever if we don't take care of it. My tiller's not going to run. There's going to be maintenance that has to be done in order to keep your group functioning. And then the last one I've got down is resource acquisitions. And if you don't know what I mean by that, at some point in time, you're going to run out of something that you really need or would like to have. And you're going to be sending people out in teams looking through all the empty homes and the empty stores, and you know, you're going to be gathering resources. Now, I'm not saying you're going to go attack someone living in their home and steal their stuff. That's not in my plan. But if there is a house that's been abandoned and we go look and it's got a doggone root, a root cellar with food in it that we need, I'm not going to leave it there just to go to waste when I got people that need feeding. So, children, I've got the old style washable diapers in the plastic pants stored. But what if we needed more? Somebody's got to find them. Or, okay, this group showed up with just enough clothes to get them by for a couple days. Well, eventually those clothes need to be washed. If you don't have something else to put on, you need to find clothes that'll fit you. So there's a lot of resources that you will need to do. But resource acquisitions, guys, that could fall in, hunting and fishing could fall into that. But also the hunt. All right, my phone said maximum length reached. But either way, hunting and fishing could also fall into food production. Because, there's going to be a lot of wild hogs caught and killed, and deer, and, pheasant if you're up north. There's going to be a lot, squirrels, rabbits, a lot of that stuff going on that you're going to need people to be able to go get, to bring back, to be processed, to feed your people. So that kind of falls into that as well. So it's already about a 25 to 30 minute long video. I apologize for that, but I'm going to put my picture of this up at the end of this video. And if anybody wants to screenshot it or take a picture of it or whatever, you're welcome to. If I miss something that you think is important to be added that doesn't fall into any of the categories I've got, please leave me a comment, send me an email, and help me with that. I've got one that I really didn't put on the list because everybody's not going to be doing it. But inventory control and security. Well, what do you do when you start running out of ammo? So your acquisition people are going to be looking for ammo. But I reload. I'm going to be looking for supplies to make more 12 gauge, more 20 gauge, more 9 mil, more 5.56 223, more 300 blackout, more 308, more 30-06, more 30-30, more, you know, I've got everything I need to make that stuff. But I don't have the time to sit there and make it constantly. So that's going to kind of fall in one of them other jobs. But if there's something that I missed that you guys say, hey, you missed this, or, you know, you're crazy as crap. Hey, I can tell you what. Shut your house down, shut your power down for a weekend. Shut your power off for a weekend. The main breaker outside or inside, whichever way it goes. Shut that main breaker off and go for 3 days. You will find out what you're missing and what you're willing to do to get what you need or want. But guys, thank you for watching. I hope this video inspires you and helps you come up with some solutions to what I believe we're going to be facing in the next few months and years. It's coming. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But, you know, like my shirt says, freedom matters. The only way to truly have freedom is to be able to take care of yourself and your family, not depend on the government or anybody else to take care of you. That's what prepping's all about. So, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for all the subscriptions. Hitting the subscribe button, hitting the thumbs up. It really helps break that YouTube algorithm and suggest our video to more people. And commenting when you can. You know, I read every comment. I respond to as many as I can, and I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all very much. Remember what I always tell you. Your number one prep. Your number one prep. Didn't put it on this paper. Should be Jesus Christ. Because he loves you. And so do I. Y'all be safe and be prepared.